And then I thought, why the heck did I do this to myself? I could have gone blind from this. Like, why is that worth the risk? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tanessa, aka Tanessa Love. Right, so this video is gonna be about my laser eye surgery. I did not record the experience, but I've had so many questions. I do have some frequently asked questions. I have some questions from my Instagram page, and I have just some, you know, information and experience of my whole journey and all of that. So to make this interesting and not just watching me blab my mouth, because I can do that for hours, trust, okay? But to make this interesting and spicy, I'm gonna do my makeup while addressing some of the questions you guys asked me and the whole process. I know it's gonna be a lengthy video, so I'm gonna say it from now. Get your wine, get your popcorn. If it's tea and hot chocolate, that's your thing, that's my thing. Go ahead and get that, girls, guys, whoever's watching. And let's just get into the video. I did LASIK because I hate wearing glasses, okay? Hate everything about it. I don't like how glasses look on me. I did netball. I played netball in primary school, high school, in uni. Like, I play sports, and when you play sports in glasses, everyone hits your glasses off your face. Your glasses end up on the court, it ends up broken. You sweat and the glasses just slides off of your face. It's the worst thing. It just really irritated me. I hate the process of getting my eyes tested. I hate how I'm telling you guys now is how I told the optometrist. I was like, I hate everything about glasses. Get rid of them. And I know you're probably asking, okay, why didn't you just do contact lenses? I got my first pair of contacts when I was in about year 10, year 11. And I started to wear them more frequently. You know what happened as well? I got like the monthly contacts that you had to change, and I decided to wear it to prom. A few weeks after my prom, it looked like I had pink eye. My eye was swollen, it was really red. And bearing in mind, right, like those all sound like things of pink eyes, you know? So I went to the doctor. He tested my eye and he was like, have you been doing any gardening? I was like, gardening? Sir, I'm in high school. What kind of gardening will I be doing? Just a ball of dirt. It wasn't a ball of dirt. It was a ball of glue. It seemed that because the ball of glue was in my eye and it dried out the lubrication in my eye, that I scratched my eye when I was taking the contacts out. And it was so close to my iris. That's what it's called, the black part of my eye. The part that make you see, basically. It was so close to scratching that part of my eye that I could have gone blind in that eye. I could have gone blind from this. Like, why is that worth the risk? Why is it worth risking my eyesight for something like taking contacts out? That's why the whole contacts thing didn't work for me. Yes, so the company I went with is called Optical Express. They are like a nationwide eye clinic in the UK, and the reason I went with them is if I'm gonna trust someone with my eye, trust that I had to do loads of research. They had like top of the top technology. They had some of the best technologies in the UK and what was offered, and there was not a lot of limitations depending on your prescription, which was one of my worries because I have astigmatism. So I was worried like what the capabilities were. You could always research the company more, but if you look at it, their stats were the best. They have the best and most modern technology. So I booked the consultation last week, then I went in like next week to do it, basically is how it was. It was a very quick thing. As soon as I booked the consultation, they gave me a ring a couple hours afterwards to say, hey, you booked this consultation, are you sure this is what you want to do? Can we get some like pre-visit answers to this? Was it a questionnaire? I don't remember if it was a questionnaire or she just asked me stuff on the phone about my reasons for wanting to do it, how long have I been wearing glasses or contacts, you know, why have I thought about going with them and stuff like that. So it's pretty generic stuff that I think anyone would ask you. Basically, yeah, your reasoning for doing it and why did you choose them. And as I told you guys, I have to look good in my makeup. Like, I'm not gonna do it without a purpose. So my makeup, my sports, and just not wanting to wear glasses or contacts ever again. Okay, so after the phone call the next week, I went to the consultation, and quite a few things happened during the consultation. I swear I spent about like 3 hours there. It was very detailed, very informative. Even if you're not sure if you can qualify, I recommend any and everyone who never want to wear glasses again to do a consultation, because you never know what the outcome is going to be and you never know what you're going to learn. First thing I did at the consultation was run some tests. So that was the start of it. Before I spoke to anyone, before I spoke to the optometrist, so it was about 5 to 7 different tests, I'd say. So the tests were like regular eye tests. If you have glasses, you know what the regular eye tests are. So the one where you can see the air balloon. But there was a specific one for the surgery that I remember. It was the one to test the pressure of your eye, because there was a lot of pressure that would be put on your eyes when you're doing the surgery, and they have to test if your eyes are strong enough to withstand that, right? So what they do was pump a bunch of air into your eye. So it's psh, 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 just a bunch of air just going in your eye. That can dry out your eye. Like, I was like, it was not pleasant. It was not pleasant at all. You didn't have to get your prescription from like Specsavers or your current eye doctors, because they already had the technology to test what that prescription is, and it also determined what technology or what technology you used for your surgery. So after those tests, I finally got in to speak to the optometrist. He taught me through like the tests, what they were testing for, and the results, which were extremely helpful, because you know when you go and do those tests, you're just like, okay, they're just doing it just to see all these things, but you really don't know what it means. It's really helpful to figure out those things. He also explains to me why I can't see. Do you know why you can't see? I was like, this is why I can't see? This is really the reason I can't see? So basically, right, it's something to do with how light hits your eyes, or hits the back part of your eye to see things, because light is how we see, hence the reason you can't really see in the darkness. Basically, the reason you can't see is because of how the light hits in the back of your eye. If the light is not hitting in a specific spot, then you're gonna see something, but it's gonna be blurry and it's not going to be clear. Hence the reason you may be seeing blurry. If you have astigmatism and the shape of your eye is not like round, it's more like oval, then that light is hitting the edge of something it's not supposed to be hitting. Hence the reason your vision is not clear, right? Basically, that's why you can't see, okay? That's why you can't see. Okay. So with that information, we talked about my prescription, which I don't want to get too technical, but my prescription I think was a -3, -3 and a -2.5, something like that was mine. So I know some people were worried about if they can even get it because of the prescription. I'm not an eye doctor. If you want the technical, sciencey and details part of it, you need to book a consultation, okay? In this, I'm just explaining to you what my experience was when I did my surgery and what's happened after. So don't quote me on the doctor part of it, but just listen out for my experience. Right. Right, so at my consultation, I got this book from Optical Express, and it's basically the laser eye surgery Bible, the holy grail if you're going to do surgery with them, right? And in it is a page on different procedures that you can do. You can't really see it, but I'll point out the main one. So there's 2 different types of procedures. There's Lasik with an I and Lasek with an E. Don't get grossed out. Warning, warning, sensitive content coming up, whatever it is, whatever they say. How they do Lasik with an I is so they cut a small line at the bottom of your eye and create a flap of the outer eye layer, right? So they create a flap, lift up that flap, so they don't take it off. They lift up the flap kind of like halfway, do the surgery with the laser lights hitting the inner layers, and then after the laser is finished, they put the flap back down, and then over the next few days the flap heals up together as one again. That is LASIK with an I. It's a less intrusive procedure, but in addition to that, it's quicker healing process. So with LASIK, you can see the moment you get up from the surgery table. That's LASIK. And then the healing process is a day to 2 days. But not everyone can qualify for LASIK depending on the condition of your eye. So if you have any cuts in your eyes, if you rub your eyes a lot, if your eyes are aged, so if you're older, your sight is weakened, a lot of things can contribute to why you don't qualify for LASIK with an I. But that is why they have LASIK with an E. So LASIK with an E gives the same results, right? I'm stressing that because at first I was like, but sorry, why would I want to do that? So LASIK with an E, the procedure is they take off the entire layer of your outer eye, go in with the lasers, and then that thing, the outer layer, rebuilds itself over the next week or couple days or whatever it is. But it's not something, it's not like a flap where it just goes back down and heals up itself. It's something that then rebuilds over the next couple days, which is why the healing process for LASIK is a bit longer. It's about a week instead of a day or two for that layer to rebuild itself. And thankfully I qualified for LASIK with an I, so that was like the biggest the biggest thing for me in the consultation. If something good is going to come out of it, there is a risk of doing it, right? I guess that's the better way to see it. There are always going to be risks, and so to me the pros outweigh the risks of doing this. So one of the risks, for example, was like infection in your eye, but that only happens if you didn't do your aftercare properly. So if your aftercare said don't wear makeup, like me, if your aftercare said don't wear makeup for 2 months, then don't wear makeup for 2 months. If you're creating content like I do, you better stock up on all that. You better record all your content to last you 2 to 3 months before you go and do the surgery, because baby, no eye makeup, no mascara, no foundation, sis. Yeah, they had a page as well on a bunch of stats. Listen to this, right? And I feel like this is gonna get a lot of you. Listen to this. The risk of a sight-threatening infection is 4 times greater with daily wear contacts than if you were to get LASIK surgery. So if you wear contacts and you're thinking, oh, I'm too scared, it's too dangerous, what you're doing with your contacts is more dangerous. Next thing, the risk of a sight-threatening infection is 20 times greater with overnight contacts. So you know, the ones that you can sleep in and the one that you can wear for a really long time, more risky than you getting the LASIK surgery. So I hope that helps. And the last thing that the doctor did was he put some drops in my eye, which was hilarious going home, by the way. So what he did was, the drops he put in my eye was to weaken the strength of my eye to mimic what my eyesight would be like after I hit a certain age. So one of the questions I was asked was, I won't say yes because there are some different criteria to, I guess, what that means. So for me, I was nearsighted, so I wore glasses to see far distances and clearly, right? After doing this surgery, it was supposed to correct how I see long distance. That's what the surgery corrected for me. He did say that when everyone hits a certain age, when everyone hits 40, or is it 50? When everyone hits 40 or 50, the strength of your eyes start to weaken, whether you had 20/20 before, whether it's after the surgery, whatever the case is. So once you hit 40 and your eyes start to weaken, it's not to say you'll need long distance glasses again, it's that you may possibly need reading glasses just to read text and stuff that's up close. right? So regardless of if you do the surgery or not, that will happen. So to say the surgery is permanent, I can't say that, because you will end up having to wear reading glasses when you get older. But for me, I won't ever have to wear glasses to see long distance again. So I hope that addresses that question. So when he, to get back to it, so when he put the drops in my eye, it was to mimic how weak my eyes would be when I got older, up to the age of 40, and would then need reading glasses. And the reason he did that was to see how weak my eyes would get. So if it got too weak too quickly, then the surgery would not have been recommended. But the journey home was very interesting. When I tell you, I couldn't see. It was very blurry, but also my eyelids were heavy. I couldn't keep my eyes open. So I went with my boyfriend. I had to hold on to his hand, like guiding me, because I needed a stick, like a blind stick, to guide me where I was going. And he was that. I needed a support person because your girl couldn't see. So that concluded my consultation with the doctor. When I was leaving, you know, the lady just asked me, do you know when you want to do the surgery? And I was like, yeah, soon. She's like, soon as in next month or next week? And I was like, next week? Sis, you need to give me time. No, I did my consultation at the end of October, and I had my surgery at the end of November. So it's been 5, almost 6 months that I've done my surgery now. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the day of the surgery and everything after that. So yeah, there were a couple things that they recommended you don't do before your procedure. For example, with contacts, I think they recommend not wearing your contacts for a week, so 7 days before the surgery. A few other things, but they will provide you a long list of stuff that you can and can't do before your surgery. But right, the day of the surgery, they tell you beforehand that you won't be able to drive after your surgery, so you should come with someone or arrange for a car to pick you up. They also tell you to bring non-prescribed sunglasses, because your eyes will be super sensitive to light and you need sunglasses to help you still see while you're outside. And then all those tests that you did at your consultation, so the 5 to 7 different tests that you did at the consultation, you will have to do again on the date of the procedure, because they want to make sure that the test results are the same and it's consistent. Because if anything changes slightly to the point where it disqualifies you for the surgery, they need to know that on the day. So, and you know, at this point, right, anxiety kill me. When I went into the surgery room, I spent 10 minutes in there. I sat on the bed upright, and she explained to me everything that they're gonna do. We're gonna lay you down and we're gonna put an anesthetic in your eye. The anesthetic is not a needle. Hey! That's very important information, because when I was like, anesthetic? A needle in my eye? I'm gonna have to watch you put a needle in my eye. Whoa, no sis. Okay, so no, the anesthetics was just eye drops. You know, she gave me warning, this is what we're gonna do. She had a clamp to keep my eyes open. The clamps are soft. They're kind of like silicone. I'm not sure if they are silicone, but the clamps are soft. They're not like really hard. And it basically keeps your eyes open throughout the entire surgery, so you don't blink. And I had to look into the machine and keep my eyes on a green light. And at that moment, I felt absolutely no pain. I am the worst with pain, okay? I don't like injections. I don't like getting my blood drawn. I'm not good with pain, and I'm telling you, I didn't feel a thing. So the surgery is finished. I sat up and I could see. I didn't have my glasses on, no contact, anything. Like, this is fresh off the bat. Right on the surgery table, I sat up. I could see everything that was going on, and I was in shock. Like, I was still on the bed, and the lady was ready to take me to the aftercare room. She was like, can you come this way, please? And I was just like this. Once I got into the aftercare room, it was extremely quick. She's like, okay, I need to, you know, do this with you very quickly. And I was like, okay, what's happening? And she said, well, The anesthetic should only last about 30 minutes or so. You were in the room for 10 minutes, so in the next 20 minutes your anesthetic is gonna wear off. Once the anesthetic wears off, you're gonna wanna be in a very, very, very dark room. Your eyes are gonna be extremely sensitive. You're not going to be able to keep them open. It's gonna water a lot. It's gonna become very, very heavy once the anesthetic wears off. She said also, please do not use your phone for the rest of the day. Yeah, no phone, no TV. And I was like, no phone, no TV, miss, what am I gonna do this evening? And she said, well, you can listen to a podcast. So she gave me aftercare kit, which is some drops. So the drops is to help soothe any dryness if you have it, and you're supposed to put it in, I think, every 2 hours for the first week, and then after that every day at some point, because you will get dryness, because that is a main side effect of it. And if you don't get dryness immediately, you need to take the eye drops to prevent it, because I had a scare with that whole eye drop situation. I'll get to it. In the Uber, the anesthetic starts to wear off. My eyes getting very heavy. They got so heavy that they shut down, and I couldn't open my eyes at all. I was squinting, trying to see, you know, if I squint and letting in as little light as possible, if that would help. That didn't help. My eyes were just closed. In the moment that it was closed, it was so painful. I'm not gonna lie, like, I know they tell you, you know, it's not gonna be painful. You got the less intrusive and less painless procedure. Yes, the procedure itself was painless. I didn't feel anything, but in the first hour and for the rest of that day, I was in so much pain with my eyes that I was in tears, but you wouldn't know which tears it is because your eyes are tearing up anyway. My eyes were burning because it's laser, right? It uses heat, so my eyes were burning and I didn't do anything to soothe it. So I was crying in the car. I got home, I was crying at home, and I don't know if I made it worse by crying, but I'm not gonna lie, like it hurt afterwards. It didn't hurt during, but it hurt afterwards. You know when you have pepper on your hand and you mistakenly rub your eye and it feels a bit spicy? That's how my eye felt, but the sensation, it lasted that entire evening. So when I got home, I was like, I can't take this pain anymore. I'm going to sleep. That whole evening I just slept. I ate my 5 Guys and I just slept the entire evening. So one thing I did not mention yet is how I sleep. So one of the main things of this whole thing is avoid touching your face completely, because at this moment your eyes are so sensitive that anything that touches or rubs it or anything can really irritate and cause infection. A place that you can't really control that is in your bed when you're sleeping. So I had to sleep with this for a week. So it's very flexible, it's not solid, it's an elastic band, and then here to keep your face comfortable is like a cushion. But yeah, so you have to sleep with that to avoid rubbing your eyes, scratching, touching, anything like that when you sleep. You had to sleep with it for a week. You can imagine the last day though. So the day after the surgery, you go in for your next check. You go in for the 24-hour checkup. He checked how my eyes were doing after the surgery and if it was taking to what they had done. I now have 20/10 vision, which means I can see further than anyone with 20/20 vision, for example. I went in without my glasses. When I tell you, right, I don't even know where my glasses are. I'm gonna address some questions I got on Instagram that I haven't yet addressed. I heard that you shouldn't do LASIK if you plan to give birth later in life. I said, I'm 23. I don't have no kids. At no point in my consultation did the guy say, hey, you planning to have kids? Because I don't think you should do the surgery. Someone asked, was the result immediate or did it take a couple days? I kind of addressed this throughout, but yes, it was immediate. As I said, the moment I sat up on the bed, I can see everything in the room without my glasses, without any assistance or anything. So I was able to see right away. It didn't take a couple days at all. As I said though, in the evening after the surgery, after the anesthetic wear off, your eyes won't be able to open anyway, so does that really count? You know, I could see, but I couldn't open my eyes to see, basically. Is my sight still as good as when I first got it? Is my sight still as good? So it's been 6 months since I got the surgery, and I would say my eyesight is a bit better now than when I first got it. I would say as time progresses over the next year, your eye is gonna get a bit better as it fully heals. So alright guys, so that's all I have to tell you on my experience with doing LASIK. I told you everything I can remember to tell you and everything you guys asked. But please, if you have any questions, let's start a conversation in the comments box. I really hope that this conversation really helps you guys in making your decision and it was very insightful. See you in my next video. Bye.